So some people on the anti-Israel side, on the progressive side, are having a very hard time explaining to people why it is that they can't really speak out against the Iranian regime, why they haven't done it, why they haven't shown so much anger and hatred towards Ayatollah Khomeini in the same way they do towards, Israel. Struggling to explain why, and I want to show you this clip that embodies this ridiculous double standard in a moment, but why it is that Iran can gun down indiscriminately its own people, potentially between 30 to 80,000 of its own innocent civilians in the space of a few days. And when that same amount of people die in Gaza over 2 years, when it could be around, maybe even around half of those are Hamas fighters and the rest are collateral that you have in every single war. And it's the most surgically precise ratio that we've seen potentially of any Western army in recent decades fighting in urban warfare. So understanding why there's silence on Iran, but when Israel, this probably even often a lot of these were before Israel even lifted a finger against Hamas, and it was just after what Hamas did, and yet they protest Israel's evil brutality and why anything that Hamas do, no matter how evil, can be justified. So they are tying themselves in knots, in circles, trying to explain this. And I wanted to share this with you because this was a video from Hummus Shorty, who is a anti-Israel activist. She says in her bio, let's just get it up, that she is an anti-Zionist account. And this just came up. And genuinely, I often have to wonder whether this person actually was just trolling. But let's just see what she says, because it is... maybe she is. Maybe this is just a troll. I don't know. Let's do some more research into it, because this is just utterly absurd and ridiculous. But then again, I have to wonder, why would someone implicate themselves like this if they were genuinely on the pro-Israel side? Have a watch.
My account's a little too political because I have like 20,000 people asking me to talk about what's happening in Iran. So this is my take. To be honest, guys, I'm very conflicted because I'm all for freedom and I'm all for basic human rights. I want the people in Iran to get what they need. I do not agree with the Islamic regime whatsoever. But you have to keep in mind that the timeline for this is all very suspicious. You have the US and Israel looking at Iran like this for quite some time now, like hungry little vultures, waiting for the perfect time to execute their little plan. So as much as I want the people in Iran to get what they want, I want them to be safe. And I don't want the Western world to intervene and to make of Iran what they want. So all I'm saying is that you have to be careful and you have to be very strategic, because we've seen it happen with many countries time and time again. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Don't forget that. I think
Wow. Sometimes there are no words. But not in this case. I have some words. First of all, Hummus Shorty, you said, I'm all for the people, but Israel and America have their eyes like that. So, one second, you care about the people. Right now, it is the people who en masse are rising up against their regime because of the economic stranglehold, of the authoritarian stranglehold, of the corruption, of the judicial tyranny of the Iranian government. And they are protesting and being shot down en masse. But because Israel and America have an interest in seeing this regime fall, you're not really going to stand up for these people and raise awareness about these people? Then let me ask you this. Okay, Israel and America, let's say they do have their eyes on it. What would that therefore mean? That they want to see this evil regime fall? What's your problem? If you acknowledge that you care about the people of Iran, that you hate the regime, and there are people that are watching this, that are seeing, oh, this could be an opportunity for the regime to fall, where's your problem? And then you say, well, it's because, America and Israel may end up dividing and conquering Israel. What's your evidence for that? Even if we, let's say, take Iraq, did America create an empire there and create a new American state in Iraq? Everyone knows that what's going to happen is is that there's a groundswell of support in America and Israel and among the people of Iran to create a free and democratic, open Iran. So where exactly is the great concern? Do you genuinely believe they're going to create an American outpost that is as oppressive to its people as Khomeini? Let's indulge your narrative for a second and say that America and Israel are going to create basically a puppet state, a vassal state for America and Israel. Are you telling me, I don't believe that, but are you telling me that that's going to make life worse for the Iranians than it is right now? You want to tell that to me with a straight face? And if not, why are you so against that? And why does that lead you to basically give such a qualified, pretty muted view and stance on what's happening here? There's a comment here that said, in Iranian here, 12,000 plus innocent civilians were murdered by their own government in just 2 days. Most of us can't connect with any family members because the regime cut the internet and phone lines. Please stand with the Iranian people. Human rights should not be selective dependent on political identity. It's unbelievable, isn't it? The reason why they can't stand up, my friends, is not because of genuine concern for human rights. It's because it ruins their narrative. Ruins the narrative that the West are the baddies and the Islamic states and countries are just oppressed by the West. That's why it's so hard for them. And the sooner we can just state that plainly, the better.